in general, small businesses have a tough time understanding all the technology that exists because AI, email, websites, whatever it might be. I mean, those are technologies that are constantly changing, constantly evolving. And being in the business of that is tough enough to keep track of. And if you're a plumber, or you're a roofer, or you're a lawyer, or an accountant, you don't have time for that.
Hey, everybody. We are live here with Jeff Valin from Automagic 247 and rocking the Slay It hat, looking great. Jeff and I met in some networking groups, and man, he's one of those guys who is just a give first, give second, give third kind of a guy, always ready to share and help people get to the next level. And Jeff, thanks so much for joining us on the podcast. Super excited to have you.
Yeah, I appreciate the invite. Look forward to it.
Beautiful. So what I wanted to do, this was a nice little quick jump that we're doing on this podcast. And I'd like to have you again on the podcast later to talk about a couple different things. But today I really want to talk about the movement that we're seeing towards AI being used in a lot of aspects of business. And I know you're really dialed into this space. Talk to me a little bit about what you're seeing.
Well, one of the things that's happening with AI, in addition to just, moving in a rapid fashion, like things change, in business, we're used to things being, week to week, maybe even day to day. And with AI, it's almost hour to hour. So first and foremost, businesses that are thinking this is going away or this isn't going to be something that's going to affect their business, I think they need to get their head out of the sand, because businesses that avoid it or delay adopting AI into their business are going to be left behind, because things are just moving real rapid. And it can be real simple things, like just using AI to, have that, you're trying to write an email or do a blog or some piece of creative, and you just need an idea. You can, drop it into ChatGPT and just give me some ideas and, spur some thoughts. To some more sophisticated things where you're, engaging your clients and your audience into, fully conversational conversations using AI. And, one of the things that most small businesses, and that's what I focus on, the small and local business, that is a challenge for them, is instantly responding to clients. And so 1% of businesses in North America respond to their client in under a minute. And those that do have a 398% chance of closing that lead. So if you're able to have that speed to lead built into your business, you have a real advantage. And so that's what we're trying to help businesses accomplish, is that speed to lead with a conversational AI component. And then, obviously having all the pieces that flow into it to support that initial engagement.
And speed to lead is such an important thing, because you're absolutely right. That's a stat that I've heard from, multiple people, whether it's Grant Cardone or any of the other people out there. Even in Keller Williams, they talk about that a lot too, is just, you've got to get back to somebody quickly. Yeah. And if you don't, you now become part of the noise, because and people think it's the person's not paying attention, but that's just not true. It's just everybody, I think, is getting so invaded with so much information. In a day, you're going to be hit with the stuff that's happening in Gaza. You're going to be hit with the stuff that's happening in Ukraine. What's going on with the Kardashians. Where did Joe Biden end up today? All these things that just invade our brains on a daily basis. The idea that
it's brains and it's our channels too, right? So you're getting text messages, you're getting emails. Like, how many times you go at the end of the day and your email count is higher than it was when you started the day, and then you're just trying to get down to that zero inbox, which is an impossibility in today's age. I remember the days when I used to be able to accomplish that task. It's just not possible. And
I never tried.
All these other channels too, right?
But I never tried. Yeah.
Pardon me?
I heard of that task, but I've never tried to get down to zero. I've got like 60,000 or 80,000 emails in, right? I get like 400 a day right now, right?
Yeah. So just emails alone. And so one of the things that we've been able to accomplish is unifying all those messages. So whether it's your phone, whether it's your email, whether it's your text messages, your social medias, your Instagram, your Facebook, your WhatsApp, if you're using it, Google My Business. Many businesses don't even turn on the Google My Business chat because they don't know it's there, or they don't want to have to answer another channel. And another big one is website, website chats. We can talk about it in a bit, but what we do is we combine all of those channels into a single unified conversation in a single app. So, simple things like coming out of an appointment or a meeting, and I got to check my voicemail. I got to check my email. I got to check my text message. I got to see if I got any DMs. Like, did anybody message me on WhatsApp? And with our application, it's all in one place. So you come out, it's on your phone, you see what you have to deal with, and it makes you a lot more efficient. And then what it allows businesses like mine to do is then automate that, because we have everything in one place. It makes it much easier to create automation. So we can respond to those missed calls, those incoming messages, and respond to them instantly, so that we're making our customers part of the 1%. We're solving that speed to lead problem.
Absolutely. And a lot of the times you'll recognize that you're saying the same things to many people. And, if somebody's asking about, can I get this in blue or red? Your answer is probably going to be yes. Right. And automation can handle, I think, a lot of those style of questions. Would you agree with that?
Well, automation's gone to the next level. A month ago, it was, how late? What are you open till? We're open till 5. How do I book an appointment? Here's the link. What's this product? Well, this product does this. What does this service do? This service does that. And now it's evolved to a full conversation, so that you could actually initiate a conversation and not really know that you're dealing with a bot, which a month ago, 2 months ago, was pretty easy to determine that technology was, a bot, right?
Well, I think, aren't we almost close to the anniversary or near the anniversary of when ChatGPT was put out?
I don't even know when it was.
I think it was somewhere around this time last year. And it's weird to think that it was like a year ago that this all happened, because it's so pervasive in everything that I do on a daily basis.
Yeah. And well, even with ChatGPT Turbo just got released, last couple of days ago or last week, I didn't even really realize it. I was on my thing a couple of days ago. This looks different. It's called ChatGPT Turbo now, right? So there's
after
GPT,
4, it's now Turbo.
I mean, that whole interface is just going crazy. But it's kind of it's just a technology. It's like I talk to people, it's like the Wild West. There's so much that we don't know. There's so much that's changing. There's so many opportunities. And so you kind of have to filter through all the craziness of, like, how can this affect my business in a positive way today, and in a framework that's going to work for tomorrow. And so one of the things that we recognized early on, and not just with AI, in general, small businesses have a tough time understanding all the technology that exists, because AI, email, websites, whatever it might be, I mean, those are technologies that are constantly changing, constantly evolving, and being in the business of that is tough enough to keep track of. And if you're a plumber, or you're a roofer, or you're a lawyer, or an accountant, you don't have time for that. And then taking that technology and using it and automating it in a way that benefits your business is just even more. So,
I think the great thing is there's options to be able to say, hey, you know what? I want to take this on and I want to be able to do it. Show me how. Or it's a situation where I kind of want to do some of it, but can you do the rest of it? Or, you know what? I just want to focus on being the lawyer that I am. Can you just handle all of this? Right. So there's the me, the we, the they offer, and having those kind of offers out there for people to be able to give them what they're looking for. So critical.
We've decided to focus specifically on some core things where we just provide the core stuff out of the box. So we take all your incoming channels, we automate for it, we provide instant responses for it. We can add AI, like conversational component to it if you want, and then handle that engagement.
And you were doing that in different languages too, is what I remember.
Yeah, you can. It's any language that ChatGPT, we use ChatGPT as our model. So any language that it can use, it can respond to. And what's really cool about that is that before, and I mean, I live in Quebec, Canada, So we're a French first province. And so most businesses I deal with in Quebec need to have, a French component and an English component. So you had to maintain two language models, so you always had to have your English version. You always had to have your French version. And when something changed in one, you had to make sure it changed in the other. And simply managing two language models added a whole level.
Crazy,
it's like running two businesses, right? And making sure that if something changes, that change that's filtered through onto the other side is important. With AI and with what we're doing in a lot of the messaging is we're using a single language model and having AI do the translation. So we're only having to maintain a single language model, which cuts down massively on administration and management of two language models. And that alone is saving businesses tons and tons of money. And what's even cooler about that is it's not just tied to a single language. So an example of a client in Maine, and he's a copywriter, and he deals, I think 30% of his clients are in Canada and the UK, right? So I was telling him about this language thing, and he's like, well, that's cool, but it doesn't really affect my business. But I'm like, well, wait a second. Canada spells words differently than US, and maybe Americans don't care about that, but Canadians do. Brits really care about it. We're a little bit more laissez-faire in terms of maybe the proximity to the US, and we're more used to seeing American spelling of things. But being able to
always
respond,
grammatically checks us wrong when we type our emails.
Yeah, well, you see it all the time in the email, right? So ChatGPT will actually create the messages in the language model that you tell it. So you can now have clients in the US, clients in Canada, clients in the UK, and deliver messages in their native English. So it doesn't have to be a French or a Spanish or a Portuguese or a different language altogether. Even within the English language, businesses can deliver smartly the same message, but having, I think, glamour is the only word in the US dictionary that uses a U, but like color and flavor and, travel, like two L's in Canada, one L in the US, and the Z's and the S's are different for different words, and
Z's and Z's, but I guess it doesn't matter.
Z's and Z's. C's and S's, Z's and Z's.
If people want to reach out to you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Just through the website, automagic247.com. There's
so auto magic, AUTO magic 247.com.
Yep. Just click on.
So if they reach out to you, will they get the same experience of the speed to lead?
Yep.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, we're doing a little bit of playing with the AI on our site right now, so you might get some funky stuff, but yeah.
Perfect. That's the best way to play with it.
Yeah.
And, if they can get the bleeding edge stuff with you, then and they're getting the stuff that's proven, that's all the better. Now, one of the things that I want to close off with, what I thought was really fun, was the one time you called me. Do you know what your name comes up as when you call people? You've been thunderstruck.
Oh, on my phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the best. It was the best. I was like, man, I got thunderstruck. That was awesome. It was so well with the sleigh it had. It was amazing. Well, Jeff, thanks so much for today. Really appreciate it. And guys, I would reach out to him. He's an awesome human being. We just kind of connect on a weekly basis because he's just got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. He's always in the give mode, and he really knows what he's talking about. And we will catch you guys on the next one, Money Mindset Mentoring Podcast. Let's go.